All right, we are live from my bedroom on the road. Just trying to make it more entertaining for my kids is the whole point of this project, so I can, dumb down, bring it down to the kids' level and bring it to them. Hey, kids, huh? Bring you some information, some information here live from my bedroom on the road. So listen up. This is for you. This is how you get into the biz. I'm talking to the folks who are making it, doing what they like to do. And they're out there on the road. And now I got to get out there myself and get on the road. And this week, Spirits Bar and Grill. I love me some Spirits Bar and Grill. And before that, I'd like to thank the fine folks at www.tirestires.com. If you're looking for tires, they got tires. It's in the name. Go ahead. Go say hello to the fine folks and get yourself some tires. I got myself some winter tires, and they're fantastic. They make my car so much better. I'm so happy. And I had my parents get winter tires. They couldn't move down their street. They're in the Nord in Thornhill. Tires. Man, your car is only as good as its tires, that's for sure. And I got to tell you, in this business, if you don't do commercial work, you're not going to work. I don't do a lot of work. And they're like, well, here you are doing a commercial. Yes, but I actually use their product. I use this company. This is my company. Last 10 years, this is where I've been getting my tires from. Tirestires.com. All right, they're at Finch and Keel. Why don't you go visit those fine folks and get yourself some tires, and you'll get some sweet tires. And the service and the people there are fantabulous. So there I am. I'm a shill, but I'm not. I use the product. I've been there. It's not a shill. They actually work. It's awesome. So do yourself a favor and go out there and say hey to those folks. It's because you need to do some commercial work to get some work in this business. That's for sure. Everywhere I turn, it's hey, you got to do some commercials to get yourself some actual work. Not that, working on a commercial isn't work. It's the same process. It's the same. But at the end of the day, the story that you're telling is, how much gum can you put in your mouth? Not that I don't eat gum, but if I did eat the gum, I would go on the commercial. That's the problem. But how do you get an agent to say, hey, just represent me for the stuff that I actually use? I guess until I become somebody of some kind of stature, I don't get those choices. You have to... You have to hawk whatever they put in your pocket to say, hey, why don't you try and sell that? Hey, everybody, I'm going to sell you this. I can't pull that off. Not very good at it. There's my impression. I am an impressionist because most of my act is somebody else's. So that's what we're doing here. Hopefully shaking each other's hands and making a plan and making another marriage for you to see what's out there through the eyes of a crazy person, it seems. Because I'm half crazy. On my mother's side, I'm half lazy on my father's side, so I'm lazy and crazy, and they rhyme, which is fantastic. So this week, as I said, we return to Spirits Bar and Grill, and it's a fantastic stand-up stage for those. It's an open room, meaning it's a free stage, and it books like 2 months in advance. So do yourself a favor and go out and support those who are trying to get her done. So before we move on to that, theme song. Every highway starts to look the same. Mile markers are my minutes in my day. Through my mirrors I can see my home behind me. I sign my soul on the dotted line. Yes, I sign my soul on the dotted line. Yes, I sign my soul on the dotted line. Okay. All right, we're live from my bedroom, and we're on the road, and we're having a good time. I love it when the traffic works with me, and I got here in good time, and I love it when the person I want to talk to is just sitting around waiting to be talked to, and Cal Post is sitting right in front of me. Say hellos.
Hello.
And I don't know Cal Post. He's more of a know of, and every time I speak about Cal Post, it gets sideswiped here in Toronto. So I'm going to clear some of that stuff up from the people I talk to. Like Simon Rakoff runs the room at Spirits, and I'm like, no, I know he shows there. I know he lives there. I know he loves to support here.
He's one of the best supporters here at the room.
And everybody in Toronto who's old school 20 years ago, it's Simon Rakoff's room, And that's not a bad thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, but that's not bad. That's not a bad thing. Not that I don't know of you, Cal Post. I actually wanted to talk to you because of the room. It's the room that I'm attracted to, and I'm talking to you because you are the sole booker of this room now.
Yep.
And you are... Well, you're telling me, and this has to be you telling me.
Yeah, I'm the sole booker. I host.
But the times that I've shown up, there are some times that you're doing other things, other gigs, and you must be on the road traveling in the world of stand-up. And can I call you a stand-up?
Absolutely.
You actually hold on to that as a badge of honor?
That's what makes my living.
It's stand-up specific.
Stand-up specific.
It's not writing funny songs. It's not cartooning. It's not sketch. It's not acting.
It's just jokes.
Just jokes, and you delivering your own jokes.
I deliver my own jokes. I travel the country.
The country of Canada.
Yeah, which is a great country to tour.
Have you been to the Nord Coast?
No, I want to go up to like Nunavut and...
No, I like Algonquin. I'm going to Algonquin first. I think there's going to be more stuff. You know what? I think from this moving around, I've now met the people, including you, Mr. Post, that want to travel, and I'm going to put together a road show going to Inuit.
Traveling is one of the main reasons I do this.
Really?
I love traveling. I love going around, meeting different people, specifically seeing different places. Weather aside, doesn't matter.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I'm not that person.
Love sleeping in hotel beds?
No, see, now you're making jokes, right?
No, I'm serious. I do.
I love sleeping in other people's beds.
I love going to a hotel that's made up when I walk in.
No.
I can make a mess. Doesn't matter. I walk out. I come back. It's clean. It's what everyone wants.
It
is.
I didn't know. Not me. I mean, that's why in 2028, like I've been saying, and anyone at home knows, I'm going back on the road, the Die Laughing tour. I'll be 70 years old, and I'll be inviting only people over the age of 80 into the room, and I promise one death per show.
Nice.
Either by hand or by joke.
I just did a gig for, I was doing an open mic, just honing some stuff, and it was for 7 80-year-olds. Like, that's who showed up to see this show.
And that's how you roll.
Yeah, and I just opened up by going, there's nothing I'm going to tell you that you don't know, and probably did worse than I did. I have an education, but when you guys were young and teenagers, there were,
Yeah, no. So right. So your act is always, so far in my world, your act to me is always the Late Show. It's always the Late Show.
Always the Late Show.
It's always the Late Show. All right. And I grew up, there was an early show, and you had early show jokes, plus you had the jokes that you could puff up with some punctuation, with some farfanugan.
Yeah, what's happened now, I think, because stand-up's not at that peak anymore. But there was a time, especially get back into like the 80s.
Oh, you're talking about
90s.
the peak of its, not relevance, but how popular it was.
Yeah,
okay.
at its popularity.
Okay.
So now, like, the clubs are still filling up, not like they used to, but it's filled with comedy fans.
Yes, yeah.
So now that it's full of fans who know comedy,
okay,
it's that late show, early show sentiment's kind of dissolved, and that anyone who goes knows what feasibly could happen.
All right, I didn't know that. But still, when you're working the corporate straight line, or do you?
I do work it. I do have my 20 to 30 clean.
Oh, so that's your. So okay, so corporately, again, that's the on the road scenario. That's where money is made in this business by making the CEO laugh, and if he laughs, everybody else is allowed to laugh too.
Exactly.
You would agree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Basically, with those gigs, it's killing, which means doing amazing. Doesn't matter. Just don't upset anybody, and they'll bring you back. Just don't upset. And that's been an issue of mine since I started, because generally how I talk, what I like to talk about.
Yes, the topics. Very adult, very mature.
Yeah.
Things that. What I love about that is instant friendships are made, because you don't talk like that with your priest and the people you work with. You talk with people you're trying to
be
your
priest, maybe, if you're in that little box.
Oh,
might
wow.
say some atrocious
I didn't
things.
mean to do that. What I meant to say was the people in your day-to-day. I didn't mean... Sorry about
Imagine what a priest has heard in his day.
I'm pretty sure that's why he's... I want to stop now. We're taking a side... No, but I'm... curiosity killed the priest is what I'm trying to say. So we're here in the space, which is how we started, which is Spirits Bar and Grill, which is 118 steps from Bloor.
Yep.
And it's an interesting area to do I'm going to call it hard comedy. And When 20 years ago, across the street was a bunch of CEO-y type, office-y people, but that's not who the audience is basically built up of.
No, it's built up now of primarily a lot of young students, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. How did you get them? Where's U of T? Where's Ryerson from here?
I don't know how they got here.
That's fantastic.
I know what the crowd used to be, and that crowd's dissolved.
Mm-hmm.
This crowd used to be primarily a gay crowd, which is where you get your hard comedy from.
Right, that's the place, because the cutting wit of somebody who's willing to have intercourse with a man.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already doing what I can't do.
What I've always said about gay guys in terms of their wit and their sharpness and they can talk really filthy.
Right.
That comes out of an era of them being beat down.
Right.
For years.
The tragedy.
Being
you get the comedy.
Walking out every day and being afraid to be killed.
Right.
So when you speak frankly, like, what's the fear in that when you're already fearing your own life?
You're right.
So I think that's where that kind of out of that.
Yeah. What worse can happen to me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could tell you, putting on the fisticuffs and trying to verbally spar with people in this neck of the woods has always kept me ahead of the game.
It's fun.
Yes. I don't know how to compare this crowd.
Guys I know
I'm talking about 20 years ago, though. So I'm talking. It's different. Definitely gay people promoting it. I was promoting it to gay people because that's kind of the point. I don't know where you think we are.
Yeah.
I had a duo. I had a singing group as well, and he was gay. And what I like about gay people, there's nothing not to like about gay people, because it doesn't matter that they're gay or not, but they just happen to be more open already to other things and comedy or being entertained.
Right. When you're persecuted, you're going to hopefully be more open because you know what it's like for people not to open up to you.
Right, and I love the perspective. I don't know if it's because I'm Jewish and I'm always on defense that someone's going to hate me because I'm Jewish, and so gay people are already hated because they're gay, so put the two and two together. I know we're both hated. Maybe that's why I seem to gravitate towards. I love this neck of the woods.
You don't have to be Jewish
to be hated. Is that what
you can avoid the whole thing. It's like, I'm not a Jew anymore. I
don't think you can do that. I think no.
Yeah, it's a religion, right?
It is.
I don't believe it.
You know what?
I'm not Jewish.
It is. It is a religion. It is a religion, but it's also a tribal thing and a racial thing. But it's only for those who didn't adopt the religion.
Right.
You're adopted into a tribe, but then it would be up to you to do tribal things. Right. And because the Temple Mount isn't available to us anymore, most of the tribal things that would make you kind of go, that's kind of weird, isn't happening anymore.
Right.
But the things that you would probably still call weird, like, did he just put bacon under his mashed potatoes? It's in numbers.
The bacon thing, the pork numbers. With the Jews I always found interesting, because we historically know why pork in religion was banned. And it was because there was no refrigeration.
Right.
And that's a deadly meat when it can't be, if it's.
I wonder how many people still don't know, in this day and age, of the age of Aquarius, don't know that if you take a piece of pork and put it out on a counter and you come back in 5 hours, you don't need any type of thing to kill you. That will kill you.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the most dangerous meats.
Yeah, right.
So back when there was no refrigeration,
right,
it was easier for religion to go, okay, nobody eats this. Well, especially when you're trying to build numbers.
Yeah,
you're building the business.
We're building numbers. Literally, the fourth book. Right before Deuteronomy. That's fantastic.
Accounting for Jews.
It is. It always has been. It's a bean counter. That's what we do. I got to go to the next town and count people. Keeps you in business. And on the road, which is right back to where we're supposed to be. And here I am on the road at Spirits Bar and Grill, which is the same but different. That is a fantastic door that divides the bar area with a I'm going to call the theater area.
Yeah, I'm thankful we have it, too. Comics spend time in here. They can get drunk in here in the side space. They don't bother the show.
Right.
I've been to a lot of shows where that happens. Comics in the back. Comics like to talk to each other, of course.
What else do we have?
I feel like a jerk walking around going, telling people to be quiet, and they're my friends.
Right. That's why you have to hire a big guy with the knuckles.
Hire.
Well, or ask them to show up. I said hire, like,
yeah. I haven't seen a large bouncer in a comedy club in years.
That's interesting, right? Like,
well, just bouncers alone they're null and void. They don't
ever
exist.
Since MMA, right? You got the family that are building the people from Brazil that are just going to...
But with clubs keeping their numbers down on costs, they don't hire just a door guy anymore. It's got to be one of the wait staff. Like, the wait staff's doing...
slash
cook.
Yeah. And by the way, your fries are up.
Yeah. Your fries are up and get out.
Yeah. That's funny, but not funny. So you're saying that this isn't the peak. This isn't the 80s where people are rolling in...
No.
Oh, yeah.
But what's better in this time, what I like about this time, is that the comedy is better, I think, because there's not as much money in it, so you don't have people glomming onto it for success or fame. Stand-up doesn't get you onto TV anymore.
Not as quickly.
Not
as quickly.
Not like it used to.
No, not as quickly, but it still gets you to television.
For most people who want to work theaters, you have to get on TV first.
I know,
and
right?
then go back to your stand-up.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And it's and worst part, if I have to throw it out there, is that as a Canadian, you actually have to find success in another country, so your country actually recognizes that you have a talent, if any at all.
Yeah, you can slug it out here for a few years, then have a big going away party. Like, I'm going to L.A.
yeah.
And
but you need to find
know.
a success in L.A. So when you come back.
Not necessarily.
No, the success is
minor.
All it has to do is be minor success. It just has to be enough that the club owner here says, yeah, put him on my stay and say, from New York.
Yeah.
Or just from New York. My first time on a local stage here, I didn't know they were introducing me. They were rambling off credits that I never heard of. It was my first move from a Monday to a Tuesday type getting to the middle.
I'm the worst at rambling off credits for people.
And are they real? Okay, here he is. He's a host of his own show. This is all him. And now he's introducing people he's invited sometimes to work on his show. He's like, please come out and help me. And then he introduces them faux.
Yeah, when you're bringing up, I'm bringing up between 8 and 10 guys.
Right.
And
that's a long show. Hold on, 8 to 10 guys.
Yeah, they're doing 5 to 7 minutes each.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Because I'm trying to keep it still purely the new material. So pros come and they do what they want to work on. I have no expectation of what they do on stage. I never tell anyone to bring their best. That's not what this room's about. It's never been about that.
No.
For the pros, it's you want to come and work out. That's what this is. It's the gym.
Right.
And then for the amateurs, it's come here and impress the pros.
Oh, really?
Because that's how you work.
So do you call the amateurs amateurs? Like you have a.
Oh, they know. They know.
Wow. Wow. I guess they kind of sort of do. I get back in another conversation that I had for someone we're trying to produce, and I heard someone gave a name to a name of an open mic night, but it's just for pros, and it's called Propen Night. Propen Mic Night. I think it was it's a comedy
bar.
Comedy bar.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a genius idea. That lets everyone know who's on the stage, has and is making a living of some fashion or form, and this is what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it separates the pros from the amateur. And then you have the Pro-Am nights, where people are actually qualifying themselves as an amateur performer. And I don't understand that, because the second you cross the barrier to step on a stage, and you are hanging your hat on something you wrote, and you're being you, or as close to you as you could possibly be while the sweat's cricking down your tush, you're doing the best you can.
Right. You're a comic.
You're a comic now.
You're a comic.
And the problem is I pick up a guitar or grab a prop or start doing an impression, because stand-up comedy is its own craft. It's its own thing. I've learned.
That's if you put a negative connotation to what an amateur is.
Amateur.
Amateur, you should be proud. Whatever stage you're at, you should be very proud to be there. If you're an amateur comic, that means you're learning.
Right.
That means you're new and you're excited and you're hungry.
Okay.
There's nothing negative about being an amateur in anything you do. That means you're just willing to be new at something. You know how great it is, especially when you're older, to be like 40 or 50 and do something new. Like, yeah, I'm an amateur painter. That's amazing. You've decided to attain a new skill and make your life better. There's no... When people talk about amateur, like, amateurs.
Right, see? So you're saying... I'm looking at it with the negative, because when I was trying to step on stage, and they're like, what does this amateur think he is? I'm like, hold on now. I'm doing the best I can at this moment. I have the legs. I think Ron Voldry said, what do you, trip babies when they're learning how to walk? It's the stage where you're making a decision to call me out on something where clearly you're learning.
Right.
And if it's a night that's not, hey, everybody on the stage tonight is a professional from wherever you're going to tell them they're from. Yeah. He just came in from L.A., He's been on the comic store. This is and people are like, oh, here it comes. And a guy who's never been on stage before, he's been on 3 times, comes up, and it's ridiculous. And then
I never make up credits, but there's only
that's what I was telling you. I was on a show, and it was my first time being pushed up to be something that would be paid.
Right.
And they gave me a list of credits that didn't recognize anybody I knew.
My faux pas with bringing people up is it's too big. The build-up's too much.
Too much of a build.
Yeah, like I pumped the crowd up too much for
a guy who might start off with a low-key Stephen Wright. Hey.
Or even, might not be the act
that you thought he was.
Oh, no, I know. That's the problem. Is I'm like, your next act coming up, and I know the next act's not strong.
You can't say that to the crowd.
I can't say that to the crowd.
They'll eat him alive.
Right, your next act's hilarious. Already I'm lying.
Right. Oh, I see. So, I'm talking about actual credits. You might have seen him on Everyone Loves Raymond.
Right.
I mean, there's like 300 shows. I mean,
I don't lie about credits. I mean, but everyone's got the same basic credits. So when I'm bringing up 10 guys, especially the pros, everyone's done.
So it's only those
laughs.
from out of. It's only anybody who's from out of town where you're then saying this guy just came in. I've been
New
a part
York.
of a bunch of
the New York thing. If he's from New York,
if he's actually from New York.
Yeah, but I got my buddy Nathan moved to New York and he comes back. He's been there for a few years now.
But you can take just from New York. You're not lying.
I said originally from Canada, makes his home in New York.
There you go.
Now he's here. Then
that gives a guy a little flavor flav. That's delicious. No, that's good.
Yeah, he's working.
No, see, okay. So anybody who's looking to be a host, this is how you do it. You don't make stuff up. You don't want to set the crowd up too high for something that may not deliver.
Last week, though.
Here we go.
I brought up he is a buddy of mine, but I brought him up as one of my best friends, and we never hang out. Like, I only see him at shows. And one of my actual best friends was in the back, and I come back, he's like, what was that? You're not best friends. You're not even kind of friends.
Right.
You work well together. You're very nice to each other. You obviously like each other.
I mean, hold on. We like each other. You mean like for comedian purposes?
Yeah. Like we'd be friends to see each other, but we never actively hunt out each other's friendship.
That's
we don't go have breakfasts or brunches or anything like that.
I don't know how many guys I've had brunches with. Is that what defines a friendship? I don't think I got any friends.
But just a guy you call up when you're in need. You're like, I got
a wife for all of that.
See.
Yeah. And anytime I don't have a wife, I find another.
I kind of have that fear.
About getting married?
No. Losing my friends.
No, that's what.
Because of marriage.
Well, it's not because of. It's they're also married.
Yeah.
And then you have to do things where the kids are coming.
Yeah, so I'm afraid of life.
Yeah, that's no good. No. I've actually seen you perform, but fear of life, maybe that might be an interesting conversation. I was actually talking to someone about you, and it came across as, because I don't know you to be the clean. I want to hire you for corporate just so I can see what's going to come out of your mouth.
Well, what I do here, though, is a lot different than what I do on the road.
And now that's what we're talking about. So the road from across Canada. Any road stories that you have that you'd like to share that are?
Oh, I've got a
You better
few.
be clean, kid.
No,
none of that.
I have a hard time getting booked back into St. John's, Newfoundland.
Okay.
The club there. The first time I ever went, had a great time. I was green, really new in the pro world. And great shows Thursday, great show Friday. Got to Saturday early. And I had a joke about a sexual toy.
Okay.
But I have a tag on it that...
it's a dirty joke about...
It's a dirty joke. Yeah. So I just allude to a sex toy looking like autism fingers.
Autism
kind of like that curly kind of...
like a osteoporosis or a rheumatoid arthritis.
It's not even the right disease.
I didn't even do an educated
autism
slur.
Had nothing to do with that. It's a very green thing to do. Anyway, what I didn't know was down the street, the biggest autism center in Canada had opened up that day.
Oh, my
They
Lord.
had their grand opening.
Oh, my Lord.
And it was in all the papers.
And is that how you got it, by osmosis, by accident? Like you actually just
No, I already had that joke.
No, I know, but did you choose the crazy disease by accident? Because it was in your face? On the front page?
Well, no, the disease I'd thought...
Before as well.
I'd done it at other gigs.
It just happened to be on the front page.
All weekend that weekend, up until this show.
Until the front page.
Yeah, so I did the joke, and the set was going really well for the first 15. I did that joke, and the crowd started booing, throwing stuff.
Oh, no.
I got hit in the face with a piece of paper, and I was like, did somebody just throw? And then I got hit with a pencil immediately after.
Yeah, there's your comment card, buddy.
So they had to hide me in the green room. People wanted to hurt me, like beat me up, and that was exciting. It was a good learning experience.
Right. That's why you need the road, because your home becomes your home. You could become too comfortable in your home, and you got to now stretch your legs because you get too comfortable in your own home.
Especially when you walk out of the open mic scene, where it is just comics essentially performing for comics. The material, when you fold it on itself like that, comics need something a little harder to laugh at.
Yep. Like cops. Listen to cops talk about the body that got destroyed in the street. Hilarious.
Right.
Okay, funny guy.
So anything you do that is your job, you need a harder version of it to impress you. So you have comics coming out of open mics.
One reason, kids, not to become a gynecologist. Did you hear that? Did you hear me? It's true. Just throwing it out there.
Absolutely.
That's got to be real. What you just said, if I cross everything with that.
I worked at a deli for 3 years.
No meat for 3 years.
Couldn't eat chicken. Couldn't eat chicken.
See what I just said? Yeah. Wow. So be
And
careful.
I love eating chicken.
I don't even know how to make that I don't know how to do it.
So that happened. That was one of my first times. And then I went back a few more times. I always had a great time there. But
it's hard to get back in.
Well, the last time I was there, I was middling. Oh, no, sorry, I was hosting. I was just having a good time. Sold-out crowd, a lot of fun.
Right.
Everyone's cracking up. Guy in the front, not having a good time.
At your expense?
No, he's just miserable day for him. That happens. His whole family's there at the table. They're cracking up.
That would do it.
So then he's arms crossed right in the front. So I
arms
talked
crossed,
to him.
folks. There it is. Arms crossed. He's telling you, I am not going to laugh. Okay.
So I ask him what he does. He works for Rogers, so I make fun of that for a bit. Because, yeah, of course you're miserable.
Yeah, well, you don't have to.
They make us miserable, too.
Nice.
Stuff like that.
It's true.
But then finally, he wouldn't break. So I said, look, I really want to make you happy. So then I offered to give him oral sex on his vagina.
Oh, no. Boys, girls alike. Don't offer things like that in open
never,
public. That's
never.
not even.
So the whole crowd loses it. They love it.
Oh, so but this in St. John's, this is an okay thing.
The audience
to do.
loves it. He does not.
No.
He gets up, he leaves, he waits for me outside.
He waits for you outside.
Yeah. He goes to the manager, says I want to hurt him.
Oh, no.
It gets really bad.
Oh, no.
And so it's because of instances like that. And I know how I speak, and I know that it can be very sharp to the ear.
Yep.
And I depend on that for the punchiness of a lot of my jokes.
Right.
But for some people, it's just too much. They can't. And then, when I pick on people, I think it's fun. I've been picked on my whole life. I'm a tiny guy.
Yep.
So I know how to cut those.
Yeah.
I know how to cut into a guy.
Right, because you know the big button, the press.
Yeah.
That's nice because of time learned. You get on stage. You've done it before. You're now a professional.
Well, since I was in high school.
So I'm walking away with amateur not being a negative thing. Enjoy your amateurism is what he's saying. Use it as like a thing. Like I am here trying and I'm doing. What are you doing? I mean, own the amateur.
I loved being an amateur. It was
I didn't. It was in that day. It was why are you talking to me? You're an amateur. And it was at that moment I was like, this is crazy. I don't know what you think you are. Like I don't know because I don't know what it takes to be you yet. And you didn't put me under your ring. You just said, dude,
I had a
over
great
there.
birth into comedy.
Birth? Oh, nice.
Yeah. Like my birth into comedy was fantastic. A lot of the pros took me under their wing. I did a lot of pro stages before I was ready because they wanted to give me stage time.
Oh, that's nice.
On weekends, opening in front of headliners and
no, that's nice.
Just giving me the shots.
That's where you want to be.
Yeah.
So as long as did you keep that till now?
What do you mean?
Those relationships that started off so sweet.
It's a lot of guys who still headline for Yuck Yucks and
okay, you can promote Yuck Yucks for sure.
They're amazing.
Are you
guys.
a Yuck Yucks guy?
I am a Yuck Yucks guy.
Oh, okay. We've done this in the green room of Yuck Yucks.
That's a cool little green room.
It's green. It's actually green, and it's so far away from
Tacky,
the show you don't know where. I actually got lost going to the green room. So it's a nice space upstairs.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So you are a Yuck Yucks headliner.
I've headlined. I wouldn't.
Oh, I don't know. As I said, I started with Cal. I really don't know you.
Yeah.
I come out here to support a club that I think needs to exist in Toronto, and in anybody who I've ever seen in passing, and that's if thousands, if not tens of thousands, I say, Spirits Bar and Grill. It's on my head because if you're here, this is a great place to sit. I've never been upset here. I've never had a problem here. It's always been a good time here. So if you're going to try to see comedy and you're looking and you're looking to see people who are on their way up, because I've always known this place to be basically pro-am. Like the amateurs, I'm not even too sure what an amateur is.
With
100%.
amateurs too, I mean, like the amateurs are people who are not ready to have people pay to see them yet.
Okay.
And that's essentially what I think the most literal. Like, yeah, you're not good enough yet for me to pay money to see you do this.
I've paid some professionals to do some stuff, and it didn't. Sometimes it
happens.
doesn't work out, right?
But I mean,
so now he's a professional taking my money. You acted like an amateur to there. I think you should not take my money like an amateur.
Primarily a host as a comedian, and I'm middle, which
Right.
is the guy in between the first guy and the last guy.
Well, that's interesting. In Canada, they would tell you that that's why you headline Yuck Yucks, because a headliner is a host. You can't not be. In America, the most new guy is the guy who runs the show.
Yeah, the most new guy host in America.
Right, and here, he should be the strongest force to be reckoned
Well,
with.
he's setting up the whole room.
100%.
Yeah,
I'm not arguing with
He
it. It's just a
creates a
different.
vibe.
It's a different force. But for an amateur, Not an open mic, but an amateur night. This is not an amateur night. This is an open mic night. And I want to be clear that when you come here, it's an open mic. It needs to be booked. You just can't show up and get on that night. That doesn't happen ever. No, hold on. If you're Howard Mandel, I'm pretty sure if you showed up here and said, can I, what? And I want to get on your stage, I'm pretty sure Cal Post is going to put you on before the guy he hates.
I don't know. What is he going to blow up a glove and shake it around? I
would love to be here the day you tell Howie Mandel, sorry, we're full. You know?
Well, a great story about this room was Joanna Downey.
That was told. See, and that's why I wanted you to be the first person on this cast. It was told by the Earl the Squirrel. It's a great one. She told Robin Williams he wasn't allowed to be on stage.
Oh, no, that's not what she said to him.
That's what she told. There was no time. Oh, we're waving at Earl. Earl, we're going to talk to you after this, Earl. I had you on the show. You gave me your
I've
4
heard
bits.
Joe tell me this. Joe's told me this story.
Well,
so
I want to hear it
times.
from the. Well, you're getting close, but he's close to the horse's mouth too. So
he was there.
Yeah, but then I want to.
But I was there too.
I want to listen to. Well, you know what? That's POV, people. Same thing happened. One guy thought it was funny. The other guy's going to tell the story
she put
right.
him on. He wasn't supposed to be on.
Right.
Lewis Black was on.
Lewis Black.
She wasn't surprised when he showed up because they had come the week before.
Are you listening, people? We're at Spirits Bar and Grill, 118 steps from Bloor, and Lewis Black was here. Okay, and now Robin Williams is walking around looking for time. Here we are. Hold on.
Yeah, so Joe throws him up on stage. Of course, you're going to put him on, and he goes up, and he does like a half hour, which I mean, Joe had a lineup of guys on that show. I mean, that show opened up with Mike Wilmot, who's
dirtiest man in Canada, if I could throw that out there.
One of the best in the world. He travels everywhere in the world to do jokes.
I think he's one of the reasons why, if you ask me if I do or if I am a stand-up comic, I say no. Mike Wilmot is the epitome of what I am not.
If he's talking to you, that means he likes you.
He'll talk to me. I have no problem with him talking to me. I just know that I am not a stand-up comedian because this man grabs a microphone and then a whirlwind hits you in the face and you can't catch your breath because of the crap falling out of his mouth. I sing funny songs and you're tapping your feet and you don't throw stuff at me.
Yeah, Mike's an unreal talent.
I agree.
Unreal.
Is he one of the people that put you under the wing?
At first, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
To the point, though, that got a little excessive because I started to sound... I was heavier at the time, too, so we looked a lot alike. I had the glasses, and we were both stocky guys.
No, he's a big guy, dude. How could you have ever...
I was like a small version of the same build.
Well, I don't know what you're working on, but the crack's working out. Like, I mean, you
Thanks,
look great.
Yeah. 50 pounds, 55 pounds?
Well, I don't see a heavy person or the remnants of a heavy person.
So this would have been back in around 08.
Right.
So, yeah, we were hanging around. I started to sound a bit like him. Like I was taking.
Well, that is a problem.
Right. And I was getting called on it a lot. So
that's a problem.
But it was great, though, because I learned a lot of joke writing skill from him and just how to not depend so much on having the set list tried and true.
Right.
Like, take chances. Go out and say the thing that might be scary to say.
Right.
Just because the payoff could be way bigger.
Right.
And could add so much more to your act.
Right.
So he was on that show, followed by Lewis Black.
Well,
Mike does 20, Lewis does about 20, 25, and then Robin Williams
does a half hour. That's a show. You can all go home now, and you have another 8 guys at the back of the room.
Yeah, there's 7 or 8 guys waiting, and which was Sean Cullen.
Okay, Sean Cullen. Okay, big guy, big name. Go ahead.
It was Mark Walker, who's great. Kenny Robinson.
Okay. Well, Kenny just won an award this year. So you got basically the best brass you can pull on from T.O. kicking around.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So Robin had no signs of slowing, so Joe had to go up and take him off stage.
That's the story.
Yeah.
Go up. You have to yank Robin Williams off stage.
And Robin Williams' manager said she was the first person ever to pull him off stage.
I love that. That's a great story. That's a good story.
But she was that kind of person that could do it, and it didn't upset anybody.
No, at some point, she's actually probably truly upset. She had a show. She's got 7 guys a little upset behind her, too.
She had such a great fiery personality about her, too.
It still does. Isn't she, wasn't it her, it was her birthday party. Wasn't it her birthday party?
Yes.
Right, so
yeah.
you kind of have a little extra spice at your own birthday party. So, it's my birthday.
He sang happy birthday to
I
her.
heard.
It's crazy, and it's all on tape.
I would love to see it. Is it YouTube-ish or no?
Yeah, once I put it up. Like I just found this footage a week ago.
Really?
Yeah, I was going through some old archives because it's not stuff I taped. It was stuff that was given to me.
Right.
For the room. So I've been piling through it, and I just found it.
Right.
It's fantastic stuff.
Oh, man. You know what? I'm sorry I stopped your story. I was just trying to think I can move you on to something different. But no, I should have let yours just flow. And for that, I apologize. So, Earl, Mr. Squirrel, we got words to share. Or I got to listen to it again. So let's talk about the room and the starting of the room. We talked about the birthday party, Joanna Downey. She is a... how is she doing? She's not in the club anymore. Every time I've come on the Wednesday, she's no longer sitting on the bench.
She's incredibly ill. Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS, and also she has dementia.
Okay.
Early onset, frontal temporal. So that's, a really hard...
So is she no longer coming out of the house? I mean...
She's completely immobile now.
She's completely immobile now.
Yeah. She spends her days in bed. She's comfortable. She's with her family.
I see pictures online
they do
daily. People are constantly visiting.
Yeah, I visit her 2 to 3 times a week. I make sure to always go over.
Right.
Try to put in some time. Make her laugh.
Right.
It's really important to me.
Yeah, well, as long as... I don't think I ever did. Well, a lot of people I don't think I've ever made laugh. But that's my own goals. So the room, when she was in her prime, when she came out here, we're now celebrating 18 years of Spirits.
Just celebrated 18. We're in our 19th.
Oh, that's
week 2.
This is week 2 of 19.
Week 2 of year 19.
That's fantastic. Is there anything that's coming that you would like to say this is going to happen?
Oh, we got in a couple of weeks I got so bored of waiting for the Pride show every year. We do the big gay Pride show, comedy show during the parade.
Yep.
Not during the parade, but that week.
After or just on the weekend of?
Yeah, so I love that show. It's one of
my favorite shows. You do a Wednesday. Do you do a Wednesday?
We do a Wednesday show.
A Wednesday for the Pride
for the
week.
Right. And we get all, all
Wednesdays at 9-ish. Always Wednesday at
9. I say 9 because no one shows up at 9. It's Toronto.
Is that a Toronto thing
That's
to be late?
That's a totally Toronto thing.
That's brutal.
I went to go see Louis C.K. down at the Sony Center.
Okay.
And
did you invite him here?
You can even get close to that guy anymore.
Oh, well, okay.
No, he's I don't know. How Robin and Louis got here were someone who worked on set because they were here shooting a movie.
Right.
And someone on set.
Right.
They were asking about places to go.
Yes.
And someone on set.
Yes, for comedy.
Was an amateur comic, which is why amateur comedy is important.
There you go. But he felt some kind of loyalty, and he knew that this was a place that should be promoted, which it is, and it should be. So that's why I've been hounding. How long have I been hounding you to promote this place for you? I've been coming and talking to the other people who work here just so I could promote the place. That's part of the deal.
But they also went to the Rivoli. When they were in town, they did a tour. They did a little, try some stuff.
And that's 2008? Is that where you said?
Oh, no, that was in 06. That was in 06. When they were here. But when I went to go see Louis C.K., I'm sitting down waiting for the show. It's 50 minutes after show start. They haven't started yet, and people are still
coming in.
Half the audience is still getting drinks and chilling out, talking.
That's what the opener's for.
But I'm the kind of guy when I go to a show, I show up to the movies an hour early. Because I want to make sure I have a good seat.
Yeah.
Or if it's a Marvel movie, I get there 2 hours early.
Okay.
If I go on an opening night.
Are you a Trekkie or a Wars guy?
I used to be.
Did you do the crazy lineup and then that kind of idea for that?
Back when the old Star Wars, the prequels came out.
Yeah,
I was young enough to care. And, I lined up to see those.
Okay.
Now that part of me is dead.
Okay.
I have no interest in movies. It's the oddest thing. It just hit me one day.
Right.
These lies don't matter to me.
Okay. All right.
Just fables, and they're fun. I'll see them on video.
All right. So back to the beautiful stage in the other room. Back in the day, I don't know what it is now, but I haven't seen sketch.
No, it's never been a sketch room.
No, it's not never been a sketch room. I mean, sketch is its own thing, but comedy. It's a comedy room. It's there for comedy. But when was the last time there's been either a sketch or is there musical acts? No, I saw a guy from New York came out with a guitar.
Yeah, I got a musical guy coming tonight.
No, fantastic. So they're not ousted for having a guitar.
No,
I'm just sporting for myself because my kids know me to be a performer with a guitar. And that's actually one of the reasons it made it very difficult to own the concept of stand-up comedy.
Right.
So it was an argument back in the...
I'm not a style guy. You have to fit my style to be on the stage I'm running. If you're funny and people like you, I want you to come back.
That's fantastic. So funny's more important than how you made the people laugh. I saw a guy do puppetry with a plastic snake, and it was snake puns for...
my roommate Hunter. That guy's
I don't know who Hunter is. Hunter, hilarious.
Yeah,
I thought that it was great. That's a great bit. 7 minutes of snake puns.
That guy, he's a beast of all styles of comedy. He does sketch, stand-up, musical. Like, the guy is a phenomenal talent.
Oh, fantastic.
So it's great whenever he comes. Like, what are you going to...
You don't
Mark
know.
Forward's another guy, too. You never know what he's going to do.
Yeah, Mark Forward's had a lot of success the last year with his own push foot forward. That's great.
Last time he was here, he did a sketch of 3 people.
He did a sketch?
Just him.
Oh, I see.
It was a stand-up. It started off as a stand-up joke, but it evolved into 3 different characters. And
That he had to play
each
them all out.
part.
Yeah.
And it was 10 minutes long and unreal to watch. It was so much fun.
Right.
And so different.
And last week would have been, is it Winston Spears last week?
Oh, he hasn't been here.
He was on a list. I saw it. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
asking.
he canceled on me tonight.
Oh,
He
so that's
threw
for
his-
tonight.
He threw out his back
Oh,
dancing.
See,
was
he again is a visual artist. Like
Yeah.
he's someone that you don't know where he's going to take you. Last thing I saw him do is he gets into a glass car.
For me, with a room, trying to
Fantastic.
make a room good, it's not so much what the people do on stage, it's how they feel when they're up there. So if you love what you do and you're excited, and especially with the experimentation of comedy, if you are happy and excited, that'll make a crowd happy and excited. But if you're going to go up, you know, like, oh, I've done this joke 100 times and I know, people can read your vibe.
Don't mail it in.
Don't mail it in. Like, I don't want guys to mail it in. I don't want guys to do the same thing they've always done. I want the excitement. So I'd rather put on an act that won't be quite as strong in the written word.
Yeah.
But his energy will be better because he's just happy to be here. And
Yeah,
my
I
audience
like your
especially.
idea. I like your idea about that. But as people who are writers, like writers / stand-up, you know what I mean?
Right.
They want to hone those 5 minutes of jokes in a specific order, starting with this joke and trying to wield it through. And so if a guy came up and said, "You're not going to do that set again," if you said you don't care, because it's still going to be funny. It's just their A game. They're bringing their A game and trying to make it better on your stage. So.
Well, that happens to me every Just for Laughs.
Right, exactly.
Whenever Just for Laughs is doing their showcases, I get a pile of comics rolling
Hold
through.
on now. You could no. They're practicing for the. Do you get the showcase guy out here? Do you get?
No, the showcase doesn't happen here. It's
Oh.
guys practicing for the showcase.
For the showcase. Right. That's what happens.
There's so many open mics in this city now, which is great.
Great.
That's amateurs taking comedy into their own hands
Right.
and learning how to produce, learning
Right.
how to be in the business,
Right.
which is awesome. That's
Okay.
a talent
And into itself.
onto itself.
That's
So
right.
I'm so happy they're doing it. There's only a handful that actually has an audience,
Right.
and mine doesn't necessarily always have.
No, but you're doing really well, and I want to make sure it keeps that way. So anybody who's looking for any, listen, Lewis Black and Robin Williams can't be wrong. Either can Kenny Robinson, who I would have told you was
Seth
the biggest.
Meyers came through.
Oh, Seth Meyers. All right, so let's. My kids, as I told you, I have children because I've actually stopped, and I'm going to continue with this. I love comedy; it's never going to stop. I think it's more like a defense mechanism, so it's never going to stop. But I have questions from my kids to you, and just answer them forthrightly.
Okay.
All right, so I have 3 boys. The first boy, he's 10 years old. And his question is...
Does he have a name?
His name is Benjamin.
Hi, Ben.
Hey, Ben. Ooh, he's saying hello to you. So, all right. Benjamin's questions always are to yourself as a bit, which is... so you've been doing stand-up comedy and touring the coast from coast to coast in Canada. You are invited to perform for Just for Laughs and been Just for Laughs?
42.
42. All right. And you love the art of stand-up comedy, and you run a room that is now epic in the city of Toronto. What up?
What up?
What up?
You lost me, Ben. What do you mean, what up? Like,
Fantastic.
what's next? What do I...
Yeah, what's next?
Well, I'm in that gap right now. This is why I'm in that gap. Not a gap. I'm in that world in between hosting, middling, and becoming a headliner.
Right.
So when you talk about the negative connotation to amateur, like, I'm an amateur headliner.
Okay. But you don't think it's a negative because I'm
It's
trying.
not a negative. I'm
I'm
learning.
doing it. I'm doing my
And I
thing.
know that to become a headliner, I need to headline. That's the only way you learn. You have to take those chances, and you have to fail.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what's next for me is failing
Sweet.
again.
We don't. My wife is not. We don't allowed to call it failing anymore. We call it learning. Look what you learned.
I learned that failing's learning, which I thought that anyway, but
Now you look what I'm learning. I'm going to go out there and learn. I'm going to learn a lot.
one of my things, what I loved about being an amateur was my fearlessness in trying anything because I didn't know what worked. I had no clue what worked.
Because you're willing, you don't know what your deal is.
I was
yet.
willing to try any kind of joke.
And are you a Torontonian?
Most of my life, yeah.
Okay, so this is what you'd call home.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I knew that about you.
So what I miss is that fearlessness because I've lost it a bit. Now that I know who I am and my voice, I can write something, go, yeah, that'll probably work. So that there's a bit of that fear.
It's gone.
Or that nervousness is gone.
It's too bad. Because
but
pure energy,
that's why you got to keep stepping it up. The next level. So now the next level for me is how do I become that headliner that I want to be?
Oh.
That's epic. That's elite.
When you're doing that headlining show, please call me up for that because I would love to be part of my
Absolutely.
day. Yeah, I'm in for that. I like to see what this. I don't want the early show. 45
You get to watch me, do great stuff and then stumble.
Yeah, no, I'm in. I'm in for that. That sounds awesome.
I have done it. What is hard is the time. I didn't even think because I can do a half hour.
Right.
And a half hour, nice and punchy and tight.
Nice.
And that extra 15 to get you to that proper headlining set in a club wins me. 15 more minutes.
You mean you need to do push-ups? You need to get a better stamina for a longer standing.
I hit that half hour. They go into the next 15. I'm just like,
I think that's awesome. That's a funny segue. Man, I know we're only halfway through because I just don't want to stand anymore.
Yeah, like it's.
Is that a thing? Are you okay? Like Paula Poundstone has a thing. She can't stand. Like she really can't, and it's hilarious. But that's real. She's got a disease. She's got a problem.
Oh no, I'm just a pretty high energy guy, and because I've built my act into that half hour.
Oh right. So
like,
you're running on
I
stage.
ramp it up right at the end of that half hour,
Funny.
and I got to learn how to bring it back down and not ramp it up so high.
Yeah, you need some pantomime in the middle or some tableau.
Yeah.
Shorten it down. Maybe a sing-along. Okay, moving on. Next question. Second child, but not the second child. He's 8 years old. His questions are twofold. First is, what's your favorite color?
Green.
Favorite color is green.
Green. Forest. Nature.
Why?
It's very comforting.
Okay, you're allowed to say that. And what's your favorite number?
14. That just was the first one that came to my head.
But it's not your favorite number?
I've never really thought of my favorite number.
That's
but 14 seems to be a nice.
That's good honesty there.
Yeah.
You could have just. Wow, 14.
Like 14.
It's like you're passing a test. It's about your life.
I have
red, no blue.
I have a math game on my phone. I think the last number I saw on the phone was 14.
Yeah, that's a problem with being human being. That's how we are. Oh, you know what? I think I just did that out of order. My second son he wants to know what your favorite thing to do is.
My favorite thing? Well.
Yep. And it's a PG show, but you're allowed to say.
No. My favorite thing to do?
After that.
I have a lot of different hobbies. I try to keep myself pretty busy. Like, I'm very into making websites, and I make all the posters for the show.
I saw. They're gorgeous, the things that you put out, the posts.
Yeah, they're fun to make.
Yeah,
and I always Photoshop my face onto something ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of creative, artistic outlet is a lot of fun for me.
That's
and
great.
Different from stand-up. Because you do any one art long enough, it can get really tiresome, especially in those downward spirals where you're not as creative as you usually are. You just have these slumps like anybody in any job. Right. So these are great creative outlets. When the stand-up's being hard or stubborn, I can go to this and draw.
Okay, well, it's another artistic outlet, and that's what you need.
I love playing Xbox.
I'm not allowed. I
play NHL on Xbox. That's a lot of fun.
I'm not allowed. So I'm okay, but I've been married 13 years. I'm with the same lady for a bit. So so now he wants to know what's your favorite thing to eat?
Oh, peanut butter sandwiches. Always been peanut butter sandwiches from day one.
Wow.
Once I could put solid foods in my face.
Peanut butter.
I feel so bad.
No
for
jelly,
kids.
just peanut butter?
Just PB. If I'm feeling luxurious, I'll throw a banana on there.
Oh, it's very Elvis Presley. But you gotta fry them.
Yeah. Oh, I have to be I'm very careful because of my diet. Because I had lost all this weight, I'm very specific about what I eat now.
Right.
Because as you age, your metabolism drops, and then it's harder to get off later.
How did you lose I didn't ask you how you lost the weight because I actually.
Oh, Jim. It's all Jim.
Sem didn't believe you that you actually.
Salad Chicken.
Jim Salad Chicken.
Yeah. I don't know why there's all these books. Jim Salad Chicken.
Okay, folks, I'm going to save you some money and some time. Jim Salad Chicken.
If you just eat salad and chicken for 2 to 3 months, sparingly with the fruits, have some fruits, but...
Did you up your intake of water or anything?
Oh, yeah, always try to get a bunch of water.
So a bunch
Water's
of water
really important.
Okay, and how about a bunch of supplements to help that? No extra nothing, really?
No, not really.
Chicken and salad.
Chicken salad.
And working out.
And grapefruit juice is great. It activates the liver. So it'll help you burn a little bit quicker.
All right, that's something to be said. So my third and my final child, because I've taking the bullets out of my gun. And so that's how that goes. So he's my third Canaan. My second was Samson, by the way. If you asked the
Hi,
name,
Samson.
Samson.
Sammy.
There you go. And Sammy, that was Sammy's
What a
question.
great name, Samson.
Yeah, it's Sam's son, not Samp. People think Samp with a P.
No, Samson.
Yeah, Samson. But
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
not a lot of Samsons out there because any Samsons we meet is Samp.
Sounds like you should be walking in with a gold diamond cane and a top hat.
Oh, right.
Samson's
His
here.
birthday's coming up. Maybe I should, invest.
Sounds like you should just be wearing a cape or something. It's just an awesome name.
Just get him a grill.
Yeah.
Diamond tooth. Okay, so Canaan, who's my last son, as I said, Canaan, like the land
Also a
of
great name.
Canaan. So Cain. We go with Cain.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I hope so. With a K.
The Jews believe in that part of the Bible, Cain and Abel?
That part of the Bible?
Yeah, I forget what the Jews, they're like some parts they're into, some parts they're not into.
Oh, we should just do this on stage. I think we can make everyone laugh a lot. Yeah, that's good. So you got the Torah, or what Christians would call the Old Testament, which is everything before Christ. And then you have this whole New Testament, which is 300 years after the birth of Christ, where a guy said, I should write that down.
Right. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
So which part?
I'm an atheist, so the whole thing was like...
It's a bunch of books written by a bunch of people.
Who's reading what?
Who's reading what? Oh, man, you're like the librarian at this point. I'm not a religious person. I'm just a librarian. That's good. I like that. What was the point? Because I'm laughing on the inside.
Cain's got a question.
Cain does. He had 4, and now he only has 3 because what's your favorite color came from the 6-year-old.
Okay.
Okay. What's your favorite? And you have that. It's green. And then after that, 14 isn't actually your favorite number. It's a number that you remembered. Okay.
Stop focusing on what your favorite number is. It's useless information. You're never going to use it ever in your life, except for your PIN number. But if you use it for your PIN number, someone's going to know your favorite number and going to steal your PIN. You're screwed.
I think this is the first time my cheeks actually hurt. That was great. Very funny. I've noticed that at every stand-up comedian conversation I've ever had, right at the 1 hour mark of trying to have actual just social conversation, it just gets funny.
Right.
And at that moment, like, well, let's just keep going because now I got the juice.
A lot of radio programs do 2 hours and only use the last hour.
That would totally make sense because all we did was just get all the riffraff out of the way of all the things I was actually really interested in, and now I'm going to be silly.
Loosen up, yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Okay, so 2 more questions, and then we'll wrap this big boy, bad boy up. So he wants to know, and again, hard question. It's actually one of the hardest questions I've asked anybody so far. What's your favorite song?
My favorite song?
Yeah.
Bob Dylan, Like a Rolling Stone.
I got to tell you, man, you're the first person to actually have an answer. I was being serious. People were like, how can you have a favorite? Oh, and you did.
That song was so important to America when it came out because at the time, he was going through a big transition from folk into rock. Britain was owning rock music with The Who, and they just had so many guys coming out of Britain, and America had no answer for them really yet. And it was this song, and the actual recording of the song was almost a fluke. The guy playing the keyboard on it, he doesn't even play keyboard. He's a guitarist, and he was playing on it when everyone was on break over the 2-day recording.
Right.
So he was playing on it, and everyone came in there kind of chuckling that he was on the keyboard. He's like, I got a great riff for this. And they laughed at him, like, all right, let's just lay it down and see what happens. And that was the recording.
Interesting.
And if you listen to it, it jumps all over the place. Nothing, it's not clean.
So is that what it is? It's the rawness that's attracting to you?
It's so incredibly raw.
The backstory, the rawness. That's great. I'm telling you, not many people have an answer to the question.
Yeah, that song's unbelievable.
And lastly but not leastly, how old are you?
I am 31.
You're 31. That's his question.
I look like I'm 24.
You do look really like you really take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And it's the chicken and the lettuce and
Chicken, lettuce.
Yep. The Xbox. It all keeps you honed. It keeps it all honed and happy. I'm really upset at the news of Joanna. I did not know until just now. So I don't know how to wish her a heartfelt, happy, relaxed day. I don't even know how to pull this off. I don't know what to do or what to say.
She feels that she gets good vibes every day.
She can communicate in some fashion or form?
Not really, no. She can... You understand that she's there. So you can still make her laugh in how she laughs.
Right.
Yeah, but she's in there.
Right. Okay. So the comedy night is we're keeping it, calling it. There's 2 other Joanna Downey nights going on. I see them happening.
There used to be.
What, they've just now stopped?
No, they've. I took over. There was Joanna Downey Standing on the Danforth, which was at the Eaton House. Also a great room.
Right, Eaton House.
I ran that, but In being a new producer, I found it very difficult to try to do 2 rooms.
Right.
Versus just focusing on one.
Right.
So I handed off that room to another great comedian, Sandra Battolini.
Oh, okay, and that's still going on.
That's still going on last Tuesday of every month.
Last Tuesday of every month, people, for another. Is that and you have to get booked on?
Same thing, yeah, you're right.
Same idea. And how many months in or how many weeks in advance does someone have to call you to be? How do you get seen?
If you're brand new.
Yeah, if you're brand spanking.
New, if you've never done it,
Yeah.
I always tell them, go do a bunch first.
Oh, really? You don't want new up here. You want someone who has how many under their belt before you're like, come on.
I'd like to see a good 20, 25, just so you want to know if you want to do it. I don't.
That could be if you're in New York City. That's 2 weeks.
Right.
That's true.
Here you can get it done in a month.
I was just going to say in Canada, and we don't. I think that's a pretty good. I think that's a pretty good number, guys.
I do have an issue with hobbyists. Hobbyists kind of irritate me.
Hobbyists.
Because there's people who want to make this their living and make
Oh,
this
hobbyists,
their life.
yeah.
And then there's people who have their own job. And like every once in a while they want to come out, and they're doing the same 5, and they come out every 6 months.
Well,
And
you got to
to me-
hone that. You still got to hone that 6. It's still a thing you got to keep alive. You know what I mean? You have to keep giving it life. You got to go somewhere to breathe life into it. And you're not happy with people using your room to breathe life into it?
Not if you don't want to be a comedian.
You have to want to be a comedian.
Yeah. You have to want to make this your job. And if I don't, I do shows all over town. I go to all the other open mics as much as I can anyway.
Okay.
And I see a lot of guys over and over again. Those are the guys who stick in my brain, especially for booking.
Right.
When I see how hungry they are.
Okay, so you see them out and about. These are the
Yeah.
people that you want now that come here to support the circuit.
Yeah, if I only see you here,
right,
the time I book you. If you're here, if I book you and then in 6 months I book you again and you're here and I've never seen you in between.
Yeah, okay. You'll ask, where were you? I got the call. I got the booking.
Work. I've been working. It's like, well, you're not really in this.
Okay. Okay, guys, so if this is something you want to do and you want to put your nose to a grindstone, Spirits Bar and Grill is willing to listen, but only if you're willing to put your time in. All right. Well, I'd like to thank Cal Post for giving me the time that he gave me. I've been chasing him down like a crazy person. He also has the Vape Lounge Palmcast podcast that happens. Is it every
Monday?
Every Monday. And so
9 p.m. VaporCentral.com.
I'm thinking of sending you a shirt. I should have brought a shirt for your friend just so you can wear a clean shirt on television.
That's a vile show. I love it.
Yeah, it is, but he needs a clean shirt because then I'll listen more.
He's one of the best comics in the country right now.
Did you hear that?
So crazy.
One of the best comics in the country needs a new shirt.
Needs a clean shirt.
He needs a clean shirt.
He's a bum.
He's a bum, but he is what we say in the business, going some places. So again, thank you, Cal.
Thank you, Adam.